to him that escaping alive from this prison was impossible, and even if he managed to escape, he would die in the freezing cold outside. But the truth was, if he didn't escape, he would still die, because the lead mines where they worked had high levels of lead which entered their bodies through the air and caused deadly diseases like cancer. The doctor advised Clemens to make one last attempt to escape the doctor, then gave Clemens all his warm clothes and shoes, and told him that Russian soldiers hid their food along the railway lines. He also gave Clemens a gun for self-defense. The doctor had collected all these supplies because he also wanted to escape. But a week ago he found out he had cancer and only had a month to live. He handed Clemens a lunchbox and said, "If you survive, deliver this lunchbox to my family and tell them I am no longer in this world." That night, Clemens escaped again, but this time he decided to walk instead of boarding a train the next morning. When the warden found out that Clemens had escaped, he went to the doctor's room to interrogate him. But before he arrived, the doctor had already taken his own life. The warden then sent many Russian soldiers to search for Clemens, but after several days they couldn't find him. Everyone thought Clemens must have frozen to death in the cold, but the warden knew Clemens was strong and wouldn't give up so easily, so he ordered the search to continue. Meanwhile, Clemens was moving forward with full determination, braving the snowstorm 9 days after escaping. Clemens suddenly heard the sound of dogs barking. When he turned around, he saw a sled coming towards him before he could run away. The sled reached him and passed by Clemens, then realized he had been dreaming in reality. Clemens had been walking for 9 days, and now his food had run out. Hunger and exhaustion made it difficult for him to continue, but he didn't give up and kept moving forward after a few more days. Clemens' body gave up, and he fainted from hunger. When he regained consciousness, he heard a strange sound around him. He then saw a seal, and his eyes lit up. He quickly took out his gun and tried to shoot the seal, but he missed and the seal started to run away. Clemens chased after it, but before he could shoot again, the seal hid behind a rock. Just as the seal was about to enter the water, Clem fired his last bullet and hit it. Overjoyed, Clemens celebrated because he no longer had to worry about food for the rest of his journey after eating his fill and resting for a while. Clemens continued his journey. He was completely alone, surrounded by nothing but snow. In such an environment, his mental state could have deteriorated, so he kept talking to himself, saying positive things to motivate himself. He also used a compass to check his direction so he wouldn't get lost in the snowy wilderness days past. And after 2 months of continuous walking, Clemens saw a small tree in the snowy field. Overjoyed, he ran and hugged the tree. This tree was a sign that Clemens had finally crossed the Arctic Circle. Meanwhile, the warden was still searching